It's Ash from SuperVideos, back for another video for Season 6 of Fear the Walking Dead. In this video, we're going to be taking a look at an article that was released by comicbook.com where they actually go through all the titles and synopsis for the next few episodes of Fear the Walking Dead. So Season 6 Episode 13 to Season 6 Episode 16. They break it down and they make some predictions in there. There's actually two very interesting plot lines that we might see based on what's in the titles and synopsis, which we're gonna go through. Some of them hint at Madison's possible return, and one of them hints at a massive catastrophic event that might happen by the end of the season. So stay tuned, we'll be right back to break all of this down. Alright, so we're going to take a look at this article that comes from comicbook.com. Fear the Walking Dead final episodes synopsis drops a bomb on season 6. And they literally mean drop a bomb. We'll talk about that. But I'm going to go through the article and fill in the gaps and make my own predictions as I go along. The end is the beginning for Fear the Walking Dead. Spoiler synopsis for the final 4 episodes of season 6. Warn of coming destruction in the explosive season finale airing June 13. As Morgan Jones reckons with the existential threat facing the survivors from below the surface, they're obviously referring to the End is the Beginning group, Alicia Clark is held prisoner by the king of the crazies, cult leader Teddy, who has dispatched right-hand man Riley to retrieve the key to his underground group's new beginning. We're gonna get a little bit of an answer in terms of whether Riley is successful in doing that in the next episode 612. I'm not gonna talk about that here just in case people haven't watched it, but they do give us a pretty good and clear idea what happens with Riley and Morgan in that episode. After Morgan and a pregnant Grace come under fire from Teddy's toadies in Sunday's 612 in Dreams, the group must survive their greatest threat yet. Submarine launched nuclear warheads. Obviously, this is something we've been predicting, and it looks like that is exactly what they're doing. They're using the submarine, or the End is the Beginning group wants to use the submarine's nuclear warheads. And this goes back to the bomb reference. Again, we'll come back to that in a bit. Let's step back. Let's go to season 6 episode 13, which is called JD. Now obviously JD stands for June Dory, so this is a June specific episode. This episode airs May 16. June splits off to gather information to help stop an oncoming threat. So that's basically the synopsis. So we know June is gonna split and she's gonna try to help stop an oncoming threat, which I'm assuming has to do with the End is the Beginning group. Then that takes us to episode 614, which is called Mother. So that's extremely interesting. Now, this, in my opinion, is a direct reference to Madison Clark. And the reason why they have Mother is because obviously Alicia's mother is Madison. And also what's very interesting is that in 611, Teddy actually talks to Alicia about her mother. So it would kind of make sense why Madison's name might come up again in 614, because we do know that Teddy has captured Alicia. So they might talk a little bit more about Alicia's mother. So that might be where this title comes from. This episode premieres May 23. A captive Alicia reunites with old friends. Now, before you get too excited, it doesn't say reunites with old family, it says old friends. So I'm assuming that doesn't mean Alicia's gonna reunite with Madison here, but I do think that Madison is gonna come back in this episode. The reason for that is because it says she must confront her past. I think that Madison is actually gonna come back in dream sequences or flashbacks. Now, whether Madison is actually going to return in the current timeline remains to be seen. It's possible, but nothing in this synopsis leads us to think that. There's definitely enough clues for us to predict she's going to come back, but not in the current storyline. She might come back, but like I said, in a dream sequence or a flashback scene, or a hallucination, or something of that nature. Now, when it says Alicia is actually gonna reunite with old friends, that's interesting. I was thinking about this for a little bit, and I can't for the life of me think of anyone that might actually re-enter the story for it to make sense, because let's not forget, whoever this person is must have a connection to both Alicia and Madison, because everything kind of fits if you think about it. I think what might happen is that Alicia might reunite with an old friend that might have been captured by Teddy and his crew, or might be a part of that crew. And then that might be the thing that makes Alicia confront her past, which is where Madison comes in. I could be off about this, but I feel like that's how the plot line is gonna go. So that's extremely interesting. So 614 is possibly the episode where Madison returns, but not in the current storyline, most likely in a flashback scene. So I'm going to continue with the article. After Fear takes a scheduled break over Memorial Day weekend, the season resumes June 6th with episode 615, USS Pennsylvania. I don't know what it is about this title, but it screams CRM to me. I could be wrong, but this just screams CRM to me for whatever reason. Motives are revealed and convictions are tested as our heroes rush to stop Teddy's plan. Again, Teddy's plan probably has to do with the submarine and the nuclear warhead. And I think where it says motives are revealed and convictions are tested, it might have something to do with a reveal about the CRM's connection to the End is the Beginning group, or something along those lines. So that's extremely interesting. And then the article goes on to say season 6 concludes June 13 with episode 616 called The Beginning, which kind of makes sense because the villains are called The End is the Beginning, so things kind of fit. This episode revealed the following synopsis with spoilers. In the season finale, everyone desperately scrambles to live out the coming destruction on their own terms. So that screams some sort of a massive submarine nuclear warhead explosion. I could be wrong, but that's what that screams to me. And I think this episode may actually end up being such that everyone's trying to get out of the danger zone, and not everyone might make it. Something along those lines. This finale has real big balls, James said about the beginning. Obviously, James is the actor Lenny James who plays Morgan. And he said that during a Fear Season 6 virtual panel at WonderCon 2021. It's epic and it's massive, and it's also intimate and it's tiny. So make of that whatever you want, it's very cryptic. And it all happens over such a short space of time. Now that also screams to me that this entire episode might actually maybe take, in reality, maybe hours. And it might be the hours that the survivors have to get out of the danger zone, or something along those lines. The entire finale, it's like it happens over a held breath. The half season, which returned with the back-to-back deaths of John Dory and Virginia, is about turning the screws on everyone as much as we could and pushing everyone to their extremes, said showrunners Andrew Chambliss and Ian Goldberg. The end of this season is going to have far-reaching changes, both for the characters, for the world they inhabit, and it is really going to change what this show is going forward into season 7. Chambliss teased, adding, the showrunners are very excited about it. All of that, in my opinion, just reiterates the possible connection that the CRM have with this storyline. The CRM obviously are a big part of not just Fear's story, but the entire Walking Dead franchise story. And also, what this tells me is that this episode may end in such a big way that just changes the way season 7 is going to be. So if it is in fact what we're thinking about, which is it's going to end with a big explosion and not everyone making it out alive, it definitely has far-reaching impacts going forward into season 7. But that's pretty much it. That's everything that was in this article. A lot of very interesting things that were in these titles and synopsis that they revealed, which get me very excited for the rest of the season. But I am interested to know everyone's thoughts and opinions. What do you think about these titles and synopsis? Do you agree with any of my predictions or not? Share your thoughts and opinions down in the comment section below. If you're not a subscriber, subscribe to join our community and press the bell to be notified when we upload. That's it for this video. See you next time for another super video.